First story is titled, Am I the a-hole for being mad my sister was testing my boyfriend? I, 21 female, have a boyfriend, 22 male, who is super awesome and I love him. We've been dating for 2 years and starting to get serious, so we decided to meet each other's parental units. We went to my parents last week and we're going to stay for a few days. We didn't. My sister, 18, was all over him and in his personal space. She's already a touchy person, but this was making him uncomfortable. He kept telling her no and to stop doing what she's doing. She kept doing it, so we stayed for dinner and left the next morning. My sister texted me when we left and said, "Well, he's pretty loyal." I asked her, "What?" And she said she was testing him for me. I hate when I read stories of people testing their partner, so I told him, "Hey, my sister tried testing you." I didn't tell her to do it. Luckily, he responded, "I know." So that's good. I was angry with her and told my parents, who said they saw no problem with it. I told them that I won't bring my boyfriend for Christmas, since they saw no problem with my sister making him uncomfortable. They told me to stop being a witch about it. Am I the a-hole for being mad at my sister and telling my parents I won't bring him? They liked him, I just have a problem with them now. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. What your sister did was gross, and your parents are out of line for backing her up. I'm sure that's going to make every family gathering he attends uncomfortable for him going forward. Yeah, luckily his family likes me and will let me stay over holidays if I want. Woohoo! Hope he doesn't have a brother that thinks it's okay to test you. No, his family's chill. I do know where he gets his suit-wearing habits though. His dad and brothers are also sharp-dressed men. Your sister wasn't testing your boyfriend. She was actually harassing him. Yep, it was harassment/violation until she realized it wasn't going anywhere, whereupon it became a test. OP, please keep your boyfriend away from your family. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for not wiping my nephew's butt? A little background. I, 32 male, live 600 miles from family and hardly goes home. I may see them once every 2 or 3 years for the holidays. Between seeing my partner's family and our jobs, we don't get to travel much. So I go to my hometown for Thanksgiving. My older brother has an 8-year-old boy, we'll call him Jaden. Jaden is a pretty normal 8-year-old. He plays video games, basketball, and loves horror movies. While the family is at my parents' house, I notice when Jaden goes in the bathroom, he always calls out, "Daddy, I'm ready," and my brother goes in after him. I ask my mom what's that about, and she informs me that my brother still wipes Jaden's bottom after he poops. The next day, I'm talking to my brother, and I ask is everything okay with Jaden, thinking maybe he has some kind of special needs or something as to why he can't wipe himself. To my surprise, from my own brother's mouth, he states, he can do it, he just doesn't want to get poop on his hand, so I just wipe him. I'm dumbfounded, so I just let it go. During Thanksgiving Day, the family is at the lake house. We have had dinner and everybody's drinking and playing cards, having a good time. My brother is wasted. He and his wife are on the boat on the lake. I can hear Jaden screaming, "Daddy, I'm ready," and I tell him he got to do it himself as his dad is on the boat. My mom tells me just do it. I flat out refuse. My partner tells me just do it, it's not that a big deal. I flat out refuse yet again. I'm not wiping an able-bodied 8-year-old's butt just because he doesn't want to. There are literally about 15 people in the house, and everybody gangs up on me to do it. I tell them to do it. They say it can't be a girl, and all the other males are too young. They're 13 to 27. My brother and his wife finally came back, and my brother wiped him. His wife is mortified and chews him out about still wiping him. Now, everybody in my immediate family is mad at me because I refused to wipe him, and made it a big deal and got my brother chewed out. Am I the a-hole here? Did I enter the twilight zone? How am I wrong for not wiping a damn near teenager's butt? Edit. To everybody asking what does he do when he's at school or my brother isn't around, apparently he wipes himself. As for my sister-in-law, she knows my brother wipes him, and this is a constant problem for them. Now for the top comments. I'm sorry, am I reading this right? He still wipes his 8-year-old's butt? This is so ridiculous, I'm laughing. Not the a-hole, I don't care whose kid it is. I'm not wiping some other person's kid's butt, let alone an able-bodied 8-year-old. If your family really wanted someone to do it, they should have done it themselves. Thank you. I was so confused everybody was mad at me because he can't wipe himself. But nobody else wanted to do it. WTF. Not an a-hole. Your sister-in-law and you are the only ones being sane. At age 8, this is a reasonable task for nephew, and furthermore implies one of two things when his dad, or another very accommodating adult, isn't around. 1. He is wiping his own butt at school, extracurriculars, friends' houses, etc. 2. He is refraining from defecation for extended periods of time and / or not wiping, both of which pose health risks. His parents are a-holes for enabling. I guarantee this kid holds it till he gets home, so his dad will wipe for him. Not an a-hole. It was inappropriate to ask you to wipe a second-grade aged child's butt, and inappropriate that they enabled this behavior. What the hell does he do at school? Not to mention, I've literally only met him 3 times max. I'm damn near a perfect starter to him. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for talking about my sister, 31 female, because she said I, 18 female, was a failure? I was going to wait to write this, but I'm fuming right now and really need to get this out. So, I'm the youngest of 7 kids. I was no doubt a mistake, lol. My siblings ranged from 32 female, 31 female, 28 male, 27 male, 26 male, and 25 female. So with quarantine, 4 of my siblings moved back home. That includes the sister in the title. She never liked me since as far as I can remember. Everyone always dismissed me and said I was overreacting about her dislike towards me. But I don't really think anyone could overreact when someone holds their head underwater as a joke, and I was told to get over it. Anytime my sister has issues in her life, she always blames me. She got into a car accident? It was my fault. She breaks up with her fiancé? It was my fault because of the way I looked at him. I was 12. Anyways, during lunch today, everyone was talking about what they plan to do for the New Year's. And my sister, out of the blue says, well, OP isn't going to do anything because she's a failure. My family laughs. I kid you not, they laughed. I ignore it, was nothing new. She continues, what 18-year-old doesn't have a job? She also doesn't have one. Laughing my ass off. You're 18 and still in high school. You still play Roblox like a child. Now here's where I lost it. 1. I lost my very first job because of the pandemic. 2. I'm in high school still. I graduate May next year because I was hospitalized half of the school year last year and couldn't make up the credits in time to pass. And 3. Roblox is awesome, and it's not like I'm on it 24/7. I only play when I have free time. I couldn't stand it anymore. I talked about her dropping out of college because she sprained her toe. Literally, she called my mom crying, saying she couldn't possibly be expected to go to classes in her condition. Her exact words. She can't hold a job longer than 1 to 2 months. She's been married 5 different times. The list goes on. She started crying, and everyone called me a jerk. My mom demanded I apologize or I'll lose all of my electronics. I won't be able to leave for a month, and I won't get any Christmas gifts. Personally, I'm glad I finally stood up to her after taking her crap for 18 years, but part of me feels bad because I should have been a bigger person and not stoop to her level. Am I the a-hole? Should I apologize to her? Now for the top comments. Not an a-hole. Your family on the other hand is. All of them, but mainly your parents who are clearly biased and partial. You are right to be furious. Should you apologize? In an ideal world, you shouldn't. But you're locked in a house for the foreseeable future with these butt clowns. And as wrong as that is, they do have power over you. Play nice until you can leave them in your dust and cut contact. If in 10 years you end up being super successful, open a channel to them and remind them how they treated you and what they deserve for it. That's my advice, but maybe I'm being too emotional here. Hopping on top comment to reiterate that last point. Holding your ground will be satisfying, and you're definitely right, but will it help you long term? Advice, gray rock. You don't engage with them. You respond with basic politeness, you keep your head down, and the second you have the cash to move out, you move out and never look back. OP, I'm sorry. I'm sorry your family don't value you. I'm sorry your sister is jealous. And I'm sorry you're going to have to put up with it for the foreseeable. But you're going to go far. and you have to be a bit patient and a bit sneaky here. Apologize, play nice, get to college, get settled, and then leave the bastards in the dust. Not the a-hole. Your sister lives in a glass house and enjoys throwing stones. So, I'm gonna go with not the a-hole here. She's literally using you as a punching bag. She can't handle that she's made so many poor decisions in her life and she's already 31, so she's taking glee in making your life a living hell. You're 18. You have time to accomplish things. Focus on finishing high school and try going from there. Honestly, the worst part is that the rest of your family has her back, even though she's in the wrong, just because they're not used to you standing up for yourself. Best course of action, in my opinion, is just apologize for peacemaking's sake. If you don't, they'll all make your life way harder than it needs to be. You can stand up for yourself in other ways. Next time she tries to call you a failure, either ignore her or make a calm statement about how you have your whole life ahead of you still. Smiling while telling someone who's destined to see you fail some slow and steady wins the race type wisdom, and watching them fume can be kinda nice. Edit. Thank you to everyone who messaged me and helped me out. After reading quite a few comments, I'm going to apologize. I don't plan on living here. I'm going to move out as soon as I go to college, and I do plan on cutting contact with all of my family. Again, thank you everyone who's commented and messaged me. It means a lot. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give my brother money for surgery on his nose so he can breathe out of it again? My 31 female, brother 29 male, needs surgery to fix his nose because he can't breathe out of it. In the last 11 years, he's had 4 nose jobs, and now his nose is so small he cannot breathe. The nose jobs are not the only plastic surgery he's had. He's had lip injections to the point where he can't close his mouth/lips all the way. I can't even remember everything else. He was turned down by several doctors because they said going smaller like he wanted would interfere with his breathing. He eventually went to Mexico and paid a doctor in cash. It ended up smaller, but just like the other doctor said, he can barely breathe out of it. The only doctor who will touch his nose with a 10-foot pole because of the damage doesn't do payment plans. We have public healthcare here, but it doesn't cover anything cosmetic or procedures like this, as in other developed countries. He's in debt on all of his credit cards that I know of in personal loans. It's at least $20,000. He tried getting another loan from the bank, but was turned down everywhere he went. Our dad died unexpectedly 2.5 years ago. After he died, our mom sold the house and their vehicles. She kept 1/3 of the money from the sales and gave my brother and I each 1/3. He spent his 1/3 on leg lengthening surgery abroad and has none left. I haven't spent any of mine yet. I was in the military and served for 10 years. I was badly injured on deployment 6 months before our dad died and was discharged after my injury. Between my money I saved while serving and from my mom, I almost have enough for a down payment for a house. Our mom lives in a retirement apartment. The complex takes care of things like repairs and snow removal and stuff. All her money from the sale and her savings is in a special kind of investment. It pays for the complex rent and her credit card. Her card only has a small limit because it is for incidentals. She can't access the special account to get money for my brother. He asked her, but she can't access it that way. I'm his only other family. He says I should be a good sister and sacrifice so he can breathe out his nose again. If I give him the money, it will take at least an extra 2 years for me to save it back up. He has asked for it outright, rather than give him a loan, but he would never pay me back. His nose will be bigger after the surgery, and I know he won't like it, and will get another procedure to make it smaller again. That happened with his lips. They almost burst, and a doctor reduced them, and he didn't like them being smaller, so he got them injected huge again. He said even though he can't breathe, he wants his nose to be smaller. Given that he brought this on himself, will keep having procedures after this, is atrocious with money and won't ever pay me back. Am I the a-hole for refusing to gift him 5 figures from my down payment savings to have the surgery that will help him breathe better? Or do I owe him like he says? Now for the top comments. Dude, this is bigger than Reddit. Consult a psychologist or something. Your brother is extremely mentally ill. You don't have to pay for his medical expenses, but if you love him and want him to live, you look into ways to get him the help he needs. You need a professional for that. He refuses to have any kind of professional help. I saw someone after my injury and my mom and I both saw someone to help deal with the grief around losing my dad, but my brother refused to come with us. He said he's normal and there's nothing wrong with him. Our parents tried to get him to go after the lip thing, but he wouldn't go then either. He hasn't done anything that will legally allow us to force him to seek help. I wish you would talk to a professional. Mate, from what I've heard here, you're not an a-hole. Far from it, actually. I'd say you're being a good sister for not giving him the money, considering how he used it in the past. I think if you gave him the money, he'd just shrink his nose even more so. Remember to never be an enabler. A better alternative to this is trying to get him mental health. It sounds like he is very self-conscious about his body. I hope my opinion helps on things. I hope your brother gets help and I wish you the best. And finally, sorry for your loss. I couldn't imagine losing a parent. Thank you. I appreciate that. Not an a-hole. Stop enabling him. Take care of yourself. He is unstable and irresponsible. I have never given him money for any surgeries when he asked in the past, and I refused this time. I also have tried many times to get him to seek professional help. I do everything I can not to enable him, even attempting to talk him out of all the unnecessary surgeries. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you with the next one. Stay safe.